Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build, and we are creating a family home in the world of Evergreen Harbor, which is the world that comes with the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. I always really like building here as the lots are really close together and it feels like a more lively neighborhood, or at least it looks like it would be. I'm not sure it really is in gameplay, but I like how close all of the houses are together, and I just thought it would be a really nice place to create a family home. So if you like this build and you'd like to download it for yourself, it is available right now on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi. That's Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will be in the description down below as well. Also, I love that I just talked about how all the houses are so close together, but in the version of the game I'm building in, they're all like missing. I found that this is a glitch, an old glitch. I'm not sure if it's only in older save files or not, but when you go in to edit the world without having somebody live here, a lot of the shell buildings from the other lots are just missing. There's also like a hole in the ground where you can see under the world. I'm not sure why that is, but it is something present in the version that you're seeing on screen now. But when I went in to go take screenshots, everything was back. All of the buildings were present and there was no hole in the ground anymore. So I'm not really sure if this is something that's been fixed or if it's still a present issue or not. But anyway, the house is starting to take shape. I tried to go for something slightly more modern at first, but then I quickly changed it to be more of this like suburban style house, and I'm pretty happy with that decision. I think the home ends up being so cute, and I end up having two moms and their two sons living here, and I just love how I end up decorating this house. I'm really excited for you to see the interior of it. It just feels so happy and cute and like just a perfect little family home. But yeah, just adding more to the roof here and then starting to pick out the windows. I did end up using these windows here from the Discover University pack. I think they are so nice. I liked having these shuttered windows. I know we have some separate shutters you can add to windows now. We have some that came with Horse Ranch and then also some that came with Royalty and Legacy. But I also still really enjoy a lot of the windows that come with shutters built in on them, so I included those. And then I was drawing out a driveway using terrain paint. I don't end up keeping it. I do end up keeping a driveway, but I end up using tile instead to go ahead and achieve that look. I just wasn't really happy with how it looked with the terrain paint, so I will be swapping that out in a little while. But first I'm going around and adding columns on all of the corners of the build to add as trim for the wallpaper that I am now adding. I ended up just using this base game siding in this green swatch. It's one of my favorites, and I thought it looked really nice here. And then I paired it with a stone texture as well that is on the chimney and also on part of the front facade of the house. So just placing that down now and trying to decide which color I wanted to go for. I ended up going with this like whitewashed brick or stone, which I thought looked really nice. And I'm just getting that towards the back as well, and then picking out some of these base game flower boxes as well for the windows. I feel like I always use the base game flower boxes. They're probably my favorite of the ones that we have in the game. I just think they look really nice. And also right now I'm adding a little bit of landscaping. I add more towards the end, but I do some of the landscaping now to get an idea of what the exterior is going to look like, and then I just finalize it towards the end of the video. But yeah, just getting some shrubs over here around where the edge of the porch is. I also get a bush, and I thought it was a little bit too much to have the flower boxes and the bush there. It just felt a little bit busy, so I did get rid of the flower boxes. And then I am deciding to get rid of the driveway and drawing it out with tile instead. I think it worked a lot better. And then I decided to add some hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas in the game, both here and in Paralives, honestly. I feel like I overuse hydrangeas. And I'm using the ones that came with Royalty and Legacy because they come in different sizes and like different clusters. So I thought that that was really pretty. I'm going to be changing them to the white swatch though. And that should be most of the landscaping, just adding some activities outside. So there's a swing set. I also add a slide out here. There's going to be hopscotch and a basketball hoop as well. And then I should be parking a car in the driveway. Yeah, just grabbing this one right here. And then I should be grabbing the hopscotch. Here it is. And that is from the Growing Together pack. I think it's such a fun little activity to add outside, and it's just so accurate to childhood. So I always am happy when I can add that to my builds. But heading inside now and working on the floor plan, I really struggled with it downstairs, and it's kind of funny because I end up getting rid of the wall in the end and just having everything downstairs be more open concept. Whereas right now I'm trying to have this wall and it just makes everything look really awkward. But I end up having the living room, dining room, and kitchen all in one single room, and I think it worked out really, really nicely. I actually love how the floor plan worked out downstairs. So it's kind of funny watching this back and being like, what was I thinking with that wall down the middle? I don't remember how quickly I get rid of it, but it does go away. And then we're working on the floor plan upstairs. I have the bathroom in the same spot as I do downstairs. And then there are 3 bedrooms up here, and they end up being one for the parents, one for a teen son, and one for a toddler son. But that isn't really present in the beds that I placed down as placeholders. I just wanted to be like, this is a bedroom, this is a bedroom, this is a bedroom. I didn't actually put down the correct beds. We'll be getting to that a little bit later on. But moving back downstairs now, I am finally getting rid of that wall, but I wanted to have some sort of separation right by the kitchen and the entryway so that you're not walking directly into the kitchen. And I thought originally I was going to do a half wall there, but I wanted a column at the end, but the flooring inside was a little bit too high up for that because I originally had it on one platform. So I decided to put a full wall there instead. And I'm actually really happy that I did that because I do end up extending it one more tile out. So it's 2 walls in that section once I start decorating the kitchen. And I just think it worked a lot better. It allowed me more wall space by the entryway. But anyway, we're popping back outside for a moment to get a back porch because I forgot to do this earlier on. So just adding all of that here and extending that roof because it's not quite the right size at this moment. And then we should be heading back inside to go ahead and actually decorate the kitchen. Oh yeah, and I also got some more trees out here as well to fully finish off that side of the building. And I also got a railing and a fence over on the staircase. But this is where I'm going to actually be extending that wall out to add this this little island piece coming off of it. I thought it worked really nicely, and I love this kitchen set. This kitchen set is from Parenthood, and then the wallpaper is from Home Chef Hustle. And I think they just paired together really nicely. I liked the green and the orange together, and I also have the yellow flowers in the corner, using a lot of clutter here from the kitchen clutter kit. Probably one of my favorite kits, to be honest. I use it quite a bit. I like a lot of the clutter kits, and I don't know why they stopped giving us clutter kits. I think it's because a lot of people said they didn't like them, or maybe they didn't sell well, I'm not sure, but clutter kits have always been some of my favorites that The Sims have added. And yeah, this kitchen is pretty much done now, just grabbing some aprons to hang on the wall, and I believe a clock as well, and a trash can, and that should be it for the kitchen. Oh wait, the lights too. I often forget to add lights in my builds that aren't just the saucer light, and that doesn't usually bother me, but I do like to add them as accents sometimes when I think it would benefit the design of a space. So I liked having them over the counter there, and I should be adding one over the dining table as well. And then over by the staircase here, I am adding another window and adjusting the railings so that it is only on one side, so that way the railing wasn't clipping through the window. And for the dining table, I picked out a rug and decided to rotate the dining table around so it just fit in the space a little bit better. There's a hutch over here, one of my favorite plants, and I thought hanging up under the stairs, it would be a nice spot to go ahead and grab some family photos. So I should be grabbing that here shortly, a spot for you to do that. But I wanted to add a high chair as well in this space. And I also had grabbed this little stool of a sheep. I thought he was so cute and he needed to go in the living room. So I just kind of chucked that in the other room. And then here is where the family photos and some leaning artwork are. So you can fill that in with whatever you would like. And then I think we're going to work on the entryway next, maybe, or it might be the living room next. I just was adjusting the platforms in here so that the edges of them matched with the flooring. And it looks like we are working on the living room next. So I placed down these couches. I don't actually know the name of the kit they are from. They're one of the later kits. And I do really like them. I haven't used them that much though. And like I said, I don't remember the name of them, but they are really nice. I believe they're ones that were created by a custom content creator. So all props to them for creating them. If anyone knows what kit this is or who created them, feel free to leave that in the comments. But I just picked out a rug and a nice lamp, and then I'm trying to get curtains on all of the windows. And then over by the entryway where I just put that wood paneling, which I used by the staircase as well, I am going to be putting a closet because I feel like that just makes sense when you first enter a house, there to be a closet space for you to hang up coats and stuff. But I don't have one that's built into the wall. I just have a freestanding wardrobe. I just thought that that was a good use of the space. So we should be doing that here shortly, just finishing up the living room. We have some plants in the corner. I also put some arts and crafts on the table for the kids to go ahead and do. It's just a decorative item, not something you can actually interact with, but I liked the storytelling aspect of that, having the crafts out for the kids. And then by the entryway, I did add that wardrobe I mentioned. And then there's also a coat rack, a mirror, and an umbrella rack. And then this room here is going to be our garage. It's very small. I don't think you could actually fit a car in here. So I staged it as a garage anyway, but I have just like the laundry in here and some storage for a couple of other items as well. So adding some curtains. I also bring in the same tile from the kitchen to put up above the laundry machines and get some other laundry day clutter in here, like the detergent and all of that I put on the counters. And I think the other things we add in here are outdoor trash bins so that your Sims can throw away trash for real, and also a kid's bike. One thing I should have added in there, which I planned to, and I think I just forgot to add, was the decoration box from Seasons. I always think that's a good item to add in garages. So when the different holidays come around, you can just go grab decorations from there or put things up. But for some reason, I didn't add it in there. But if you decide to download this house, that would be a good thing to add in the garage. But this is the downstairs bathroom. It's pretty much done already at this point. It was a very quick thing to decorate. And we're heading upstairs to work on the second bathroom, which is really similar to the one downstairs. I just have a little bit more counter space next to the sink. And so I decorated that with some clutter. We have a container full of all sorts of accessories. And then I have like the toothpaste is out on the counter and all of that. I just wanted it to look slightly more messy, but I didn't imagine that these Sims were that messy. They try and keep things pretty clean. I will see how that goes once there are two like grown children in this house, since one of them's still a toddler. Maybe they get messier as they get older. I'm not so sure, but most of the mess is contained to their bedrooms currently. Anyway, this is going to be the primary bedroom. I brought in the same colors that I have throughout the rest of the house, which is like the green and that stone texture. I kept their room very simple. I figured they wanted it to be a calm space for them to go to at the end of the night. So their bedside tables are just the lamps. We have the same wardrobe in here that I have downstairs. And then in the corner, I have a chair and a plant. And there should be a mirror on the wall here as well. And that should be it for their room. And then we are heading on into the next room, which is going to be for our toddler. And this room came out so cute. Once again, it is also pretty simple. It's just a blue room with this adorable toddler bed that came with Eco Lifestyle. I love this bed so much. It's probably my favorite toddler bed in the game. And I paired it with this base game rug of the mountains, which I scaled up slightly with the tool mod, grabbing a changing table to put next to it, and just getting a couple of decorations in here. I got some artwork up above the changing table. There's also going to be a big toy in the corner. And I think the only other things I add are a rocking chair and a display of some diapers, like some extra storage in here. And that should be it for the toddler's room. And then we're heading on into the hallway actually next, which I just wanted to have something out here. The first thing I actually wanted to add was I wanted to add a pride flag, as I did intend for this to be a household of two moms. I thought it would be kind of cute, maybe like in the upstairs hallway or in the garage, or if they had an office or something, having the lesbian pride flag. But I ended up putting it in the upstairs hallway, and then there's just going to be a little side table over here and a rug. And I think that should be it for the upstairs hallway, other than painting it green. I think that's all I do with it. And then we're heading on into the teenager's room, which is so fun. I had a blast decorating this room. I picked out the curtains first, and I was like, oh, orange and blue. What has orange and blue? This base game bed that has guitars on it. So I instantly was like, okay, this teen is really into music. So that is the whole vibe we're going to go for in this room. Blue, orange, and music. So I really went all out with that. I got posters from a variety of packs. For some reason though, when I went to go grab these ones from Parenthood, I placed down the like fitness swatch instead. And I don't know why I did that, but I did swap it out and fix it. And I think it looks really nice. I also ended up getting a bunch of clutter for the floor. So this teen is a little bit messy, but it is mostly staying in their room. I don't have their mess like spilling out into the rest of the house. I got these boards up above the bed that have music notes on them. Also getting some decor for the dresser. They end up having a wardrobe in here and also a desk, which I will be adding in that little bump out here in that window space. And I just think this room came out so cute and has so much personality. It's got to be my favorite room in the house. It's my favorite bedroom for sure. Anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. And a massive thank you to my YouTube members for your continued support. If you'd like to become a member yourself, you can click the join button below the video or the link in the description. Please enjoy the screenshots and I'll see y'all soon. Bye everyone.